At 3 a.m. last Tuesday, my emergency pager went off. Another stroke patient, another senior who went to bed perfectly fine and woke up unable to speak. But this time, the culprit wasn't what you'd expect. It was sitting in a jar on his kitchen counter. I'm Dr. Bill Harrison, neurologist and stroke specialist, and what I discovered in that hospital room will shock you. The patient had suffered a massive stroke, not from smoking, not from high cholesterol, but from something his doctor told him was heart healthy. Something millions of seniors eat every single night thinking they're protecting their brain. If you're over 60 and snack on nuts after dinner, this video could save your life. While nuts are packed with healthy fats and nutrients, 5 varieties eaten at the wrong time, in the wrong form, or in the wrong amount can quietly raise your risk of overnight strokes, brain bleeds, or dangerous blood pressure swings. What you're about to learn has helped hundreds of my patients turn their nighttime snacks from stroke triggers into safety habits. If you or someone you love snacks on almonds, cashews, macadamia nuts, pistachios, or peanut butter, hit subscribe to Inspired Living right now. Today, we'll uncover exactly how these 5 trusted nuts can become silent killers, especially during overnight hours when your brain is most vulnerable. But first, let me tell you about the patient who changed everything I thought I knew about nuts and stroke risk. Robert walked into my office 3 weeks after his stroke, frustrated and confused. He's 76, retired mechanic, walks 2 miles every morning, takes his medications religiously. His wife had found him at 5:30 a.m., slumped over his coffee table, unable to speak, his right arm completely limp. The strange part? All his labs looked good. Blood pressure controlled, cholesterol normal, no signs of heart disease. But when I asked Robert about his evening routine, he mentioned something that made my blood run cold. Every single night for the past 5 years, he'd eaten a full cup of raw almonds while reading his newspaper. His doctor had told him almonds were heart healthy. And they can be, in moderation. But what Robert didn't know is that for seniors, almonds contain a hidden danger that can literally calcify your brain's blood vessels overnight. When we changed just his evening nut routine, Robert's follow-up scans showed dramatic improvement. His wife told me it was like getting her husband back. But before I reveal what we discovered about almonds, you need to understand why the hours between dinner and morning are the most dangerous time for your brain. Here's what most people don't realize about stroke timing. Research from the American Heart Association, 2023. Sleep-stroke data shows that strokes peak between midnight and 6 a.m. when your blood pressure is most unstable and your brain circulation is at its most vulnerable. Many healthy evening habits can create pressure swings, vessel stiffening, or clotting risks that overwhelm aging arteries. During sleep, your metabolism slows, your kidneys work differently, and certain compounds in nuts can concentrate in ways that younger bodies handle easily, but aging brains cannot. The 5 nuts I'm about to reveal don't just affect how you feel, they fundamentally alter blood chemistry during the critical overnight hours when your brain is fighting for survival. Let's start with the nut that nearly killed Robert. Nut number 1. Almonds. Robert ate a full cup of raw almonds every evening because his cardiologist said they were heart healthy. He had no idea those almonds were loaded with oxalates that were slowly calcifying his brain's blood vessels. Here's what Robert didn't know. Almonds contain extremely high levels of oxalates, compounds that bind with calcium in your bloodstream. In younger people, healthy kidneys clear these oxalates efficiently. But as we age, kidney function slows. Those oxalates start building up, driving calcium directly into arterial walls. The result? Vascular calcification. Your brain's microvessels become stiff and narrow. Blood flow becomes erratic. Silent strokes become inevitable. Maria, 72 years old, came to me with morning confusion and balance problems. Her evening routine included a large handful of almonds with herbal tea. Brain imaging revealed extensive arterial calcification that had developed over months of oxalate overload. The danger compounds overnight when natural dehydration concentrates oxalate levels, just as your blood pressure fluctuates most dramatically. Your brain becomes a target in a body it can no longer trust. Limit almonds to 5 or 6 nuts total and eat only before the 6 p.m. cutoff. After dinner, swap your almond habit for a few unsalted walnuts or a small portion of berries. If you're currently eating almonds in the evening, comment almonds below. You're not alone, and recognizing this pattern could save your life. Nut number 2. Cashews. Patricia, 78 years old, loved roasted salted cashews every night at 9 p.m. while watching the news. One morning she woke dizzy and disoriented with blood pressure readings of 192 over 106, despite never missing her medication. Here's the hidden danger. A single handful of store-bought cashews can pack 180 milligrams of sodium or more. For seniors on blood pressure medications, this evening sodium load can completely override your medication's protective effects during sleep. The timing makes it deadly. Evening sodium causes dangerous overnight pressure surges exactly when your brain's blood vessels are most fragile. The result? Hemorrhagic strokes, brain bleeding, no warning. Choose raw, unsalted cashews only. Limit to 6 to 8 nuts total before the 6 p.m. cutoff, or rinse lightly salted nuts under water to wash off excess sodium. Type cashews in the comments if you've been eating salted cashews after dinner. This revelation might be exactly what your brain needs to hear. Nut number 3. Macadamia nuts. These seem innocent, even luxurious, but they hide a fat content so high it can overwhelm aging metabolism and stiffen brain arteries over time. Douglas, 79 years old, ate macadamia nuts twice daily, thinking their monounsaturated fats were pure heart health. Instead, his LDL cholesterol crept up steadily, plaque hardened his small cerebral vessels, and he suffered a transient ischemic attack during his afternoon nap. Here's why macadamias become dangerous after 60. Your fat metabolism slows dramatically with age. Those calorie-dense fats that once nourished you now accumulate, elevate LDL, and create the perfect environment for arterial stiffening. On statins, rising LDL often goes unnoticed until a mini-stroke occurs. Limit macadamias to 5 or 6 nuts total per day. Always pair with fiber, like berries, to slow fat absorption, and rotate with brain-healthy alternatives like ground flaxseed. If macadamia nuts are part of your daily routine, comment macadamia below. Understanding this risk could prevent your next doctor's visit from being in an emergency room. Stay tuned. Pistachios and peanut butter carry hidden sodium and sugar, risks you won't believe. Nut number 4. Pistachios. These green gems seem harmless, but even lightly salted varieties can deliver a sodium punch that shatters blood pressure control during sleep. Eleanor, 83 years old, enjoyed a small bowl of lightly salted pistachios every evening. One morning, she collapsed in her hallway. Scans ruled out clots, but revealed chronic vascular stress and unstable overnight blood pressure that had been building for months. Even lightly salted pistachios can contain 200 milligrams of sodium per handful, enough to negate blood pressure medications during sleep, enough to cause silent pressure surges that rupture fragile brain vessels. No symptoms, no warning, just damage. Switch to raw, unsalted pistachios only. Cap at 10 to 12 nuts total before the 6 p.m. cutoff, or choose air-popped popcorn, lightly seasoned with herbs for evening crunch without the sodium shock. Comment pistachios if you've been eating the salted kind regularly. Your honesty in the comments might help someone else recognize their own risk. Nut number 5. Peanut butter. the comfort food that's slowly inflaming your brain's arteries while you sleep. Kenneth, 77 years old, had wheat toast with natural peanut butter every night before bed. Over months, he developed ankle swelling, morning dizziness, and rising LDL despite statin therapy. Many popular peanut butters contain added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and hidden sodium. All pro-inflammatory. Your aging metabolism can't process these additives efficiently, so they accumulate, stiffen vessel linings, and fuel the atherosclerosis that leads to stroke. Choose brands with 100% peanuts only, no added sugar or oil. Limit to 1 tablespoon per day, consumed with breakfast, alongside protein and fiber. Never eat peanut butter within 4 hours of bedtime. If peanut butter is part of your evening routine, comment "peanut butter" below. Breaking this habit tonight could save your brain. Now here's your complete evening plan. This is exactly what Robert follows. Follow the 6 p.m. cutoff. No nuts or nut products after this time. Your brain needs these critical hours to prepare for overnight maintenance without processing inflammatory compounds. Prep the night before. Portion out any nuts in small glass containers or eliminate them entirely after the cutoff. Place only raw, unsalted options where you can reach them. Hydrate smart. Drink 8 ounces of room temperature water before dinner. Then limit fluids to small sips only. This prevents the dehydration that concentrates dangerous compounds overnight. Brain prep activities. Light stretching, reading, or gentle meditation after 7 p.m. No snacking. Your brain performs overnight repair work that snacking disrupts. Track your symptoms for 1 week. Log any dizziness, palpitations, or confusion with date, time, and evening food choices. Patterns reveal risk before strokes happen. If you're still watching and found these insights valuable, comment "watching" below, so I know you're committed to protecting your brain. Remember Robert, who nearly died from his evening almond routine. 6 months after implementing this evening plan, he told me something that gave me chills. He said, "Doctor, I feel like my brain is working the way it should again. The fog is gone, my balance is steady, and I sleep through the night knowing I'm protecting myself instead of harming myself." That's the power of understanding how your evening choices affect overnight brain survival. After 60, your body processes fats, salts, and compounds very differently than it did at 40. What nourished you then can quietly harm you now, especially overnight when your brain whispers its distress instead of shouting. You don't need extreme diets or expensive supplements, just balance, timing, and whole foods that your aging brain can trust. Knowledge gives you power to choose protection over habit. Robert still enjoys nuts, but now he does it wisely. He tells me, "I didn't have to give up foods I love, I just had to give up the dangerous timing that was threatening my life." Pick one nut habit you'll change starting tonight. Comment it below and tag a friend over 60. Your commitment could save 2 lives. This information is for educational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet, especially if you're on blood pressure or cholesterol medications. Remember this simple truth: protect your evening, protect your brain.